Hello there. I hope you're having an awesome day today. So today I wanted to talk about um OCD. I was diagnosed with OCD probably 2.5, 3 years ago, where I went to a psychiatrist and I was diagnosed with OCD. And before I was diagnosed, I knew about mental health because I'm a psychology major. I majored in psychology. Um, but I guess I never thought that I would deal with a mental health issue. And so I knew that I was dealing with something, but I didn't know what it was called. And so after talking to my husband, I decided to go see a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist diagnosed me. And I remember when I got diagnosed, I was so um, I was so afraid. Um, I call this bitch, I have OCD and I'm not crazy, because people throw around the word crazy so casually, especially when it comes to mental health, and it annoys the hell out of me, for real. Um, but OCD isn't crazy. It's a real diagnosable condition. And labeling people like me isn't just wrong, it's unfair. It's unfair because we didn't ask for it. We didn't ask for it, and we can't just turn it off. So, bitch, no, I have OCD. I'm not crazy, okay? Um, but anyway, when I was diagnosed, I had like so many emotions coming at me. I think the first emotion that I felt was I was angry as hell. Like I was so angry. Um, because I was angry because I just had to deal with OCD at all. Like I was like, what is this? Like, why do I even have to deal with this? And I didn't ask for the obsessive thoughts. I didn't ask for the paranoia, or, the anxiety that made just the simplest things so hard. I didn't ask for any of this. And I remember just always saying, why me? Like, why? I'm a good person. I've been good to others. I show up in the world kind. I lead with love. Like, why me? Why am I dealing with all of this paranoia and this anxiety and these compulsive thoughts and, intrusive thoughts and this obsessive behavior? Like, why am I dealing with this? And I remember my husband saying, why does a person have autism? Why, um, we could take that why in so many different directions, right? And so I started to think about that, and I was just like, well, yeah, that's true. Like, but it didn't take away the fact that I was, angry about it. And then I remember I felt sad and I felt grief, um, because I didn't want to be a burden to my husband. I didn't want to be a burden to my best friend, um, or the people that were the closest to me, right? Like I didn't want to burden them with my OCD problem, you know? Um, and then I also felt like every hard thing that me and my husband went through in our marriage, like it was my fault because of the OCD. Um, And then I also felt grief, y'all, because I lost a lot of friends because of OCD. Now, I didn't realize it as it was happening because I didn't know what OCD was. I hadn't heard of OCD. Well, no, I take that back. I had heard of OCD, but I didn't know what it was until after I was diagnosed, and then I had to start like researching and all of that. But I um I felt grief, um, because I had lost some good friendships because of it, because of my paranoia, because of the anxiety, that had taken over my life. And that was hard. But then, after feeling all of those emotions or whatever, something like changed and clicked in me. And I was like, you know what? Um, Finding out that I had OCD actually gave me a sense of relief. Like I could breathe again. Um, and even though I had felt that grief and that anger and that sadness, like I was like, well, at least I know what it is. At least I can put a name to it, and at least I can, um, tackle it. Like I know how to tackle it now. So I take medication, and then I also read books, and I attend OCD support groups, as well as I attend workshops and things of that nature. Anything that I can do to continue to educate myself on OCD, I do it. Um, and, for the first time, I understood what I had been fighting all along. And now, I see the OCD differently. I see it as my superpower, the thing that makes me resilient, empathetic, and strong in ways that I wouldn't have never imagined. And so, if you have OCD or any other mental condition, I encourage you to look at it as your superpower. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. Um, you these were the cards you were dealt, and guess what? That's okay. You can handle it. God never gives us more than we can handle. You can handle it. So I want to hear from you in the comments. I want to hear, um, have you been dealing with mental health issues or concerns? And if so, tell me about them in the comments. I want to know. I want to hear from you.